3 hacks I've learned from outdoor living companies doing $5 million plus in revenue, and if you're a contractor, these will help you make more money as well. My name is Derek. I'm the founder of Your Haven. We are an outdoor living design and planning company, and we partner with some of the fastest growing contractors across the US who are doing over $5 million in revenue as their design arm. So here's what this means. Most of the contractors we work with already have an in-house designer who is giving us a design brief, picking materials, giving us notes about what the customer wants, and handling the customer front facing. Meanwhile, we work as kind of the workhorse in the back end to do all of the drawing, to do all the rendering, create videos, kind of listen to them and their feedback, make revisions, and then get them the 2D construction plans they need in order to execute the project. Because of that relationship, I get a front row seat into understanding how these companies run, how they sell designs, how they structure their teams, and how they sell projects worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And after seeing the patterns across multiple $5 million plus companies, I can confidently say that they all follow the same 3 hacks, and that's what I'm going to break down for you today. Hack number 1, they charge for estimates and sell premium designs. Now look, every company starting out is probably going to have to do free estimates. The problem with that is you're wasting your time driving around and dealing with people who aren't very serious. So these companies who are doing 5 million plus have kind of flipped that on its head. When they get a call in, they're charging for an estimate or a design fee for any customer they meet. They know that a customer who's serious about their project is willing to pay somebody for their time, let alone to come out, meet them, give them ideas, take measurements, or provide them an accurate design. These design packages are not only important to kind of get rid of the people who are just tire kickers or not serious about their project, but they've also become a great revenue stream for their business. When a lead comes in, the company is going to get them on the phone. They're going to frame the phone call as, hey, I just want to make sure we're the right fit for each other. These bigger companies are never begging for your work. They're actually more interviewing you as the homeowner. Is this somebody I want to work with? Does it seem like the right fit for us? So that's how they frame the call. And then they're always telling them exactly who they serve. So a lot of these companies are saying, hey, we're an outdoor living design and build company who provides 3D designs and 2D construction plans and then builds off those plans. We specialize in pergolas, outdoor kitchens, and patios. The reason why they say exactly what it is that they do, because when they get a homeowner who needs that exact thing that they just explained, that person is much more likely to go with them and feel like they are the right fit for each other as well. When you get somebody who's not as serious and maybe they just want to do it something smaller, obviously you're not going to waste your time with that person and it's going to be known right away. Then on the call, they set the expectation of, hey, for us to come out, what we do is, and this is why it costs this. So every time they drop a price, they explain why. So when they are on the phone and they say, hey, Mr. Customer, that sounds great. We can do patios and kitchens, and it sounds like you have a really awesome project. For us to come out to do a strategy site session or whatever you want to call it, kind of give it a name, and then give them an explanation of what that is. For us to come out and do a strategy site session, it's going to be $500. What you get with this is our team to come out. We're going to get measurements. We're going to meet with you. We're going to talk about ideas, share some of our insights, and then from there we can move into our design process. We have an availability today at 2 p.m. or tomorrow at 11. Which one of those times work best for you? And then they go to set the meeting. The on-site meeting for these contractors is very, very important, and this sets the tone for the rest of the project. There's 3 main goals that the contractor is trying to accomplish at the on-site meeting. The first is to understand who the homeowner is and why they want what they want. The second goal is to understand how serious they are about the project, and then the third goal is to sell them a design package. They're always selling these design packages in person because it allows them to answer any questions, overcome objections, and then of course sell the design package. From what I see, these outdoor living companies are always presenting 3 options in their design package. So at the end of the meeting, when they walk through with the homeowner and they walk the site and they get measurements and they ask them good questions, they present 3 different options for design. Typically, they'll offer a $2,000 design package as their lowest package, and like a $8,000 package as their highest package. And I know that might sound high, but the important thing here is that a homeowner who is willing to spend that type of money on a design is very serious about their project. There's a less chance that they're going to shop their bid, and the higher chance that they're going to go with you for the project at the end of the day. Price is an indicator of value. So if your competitor is offering a $500 design, there might be more people who buy that offer, but they're not going to win as many jobs. Whereas if you sell 1 to 2 of these $5,000 design packages a month, the chance of you winning those 2 jobs is very, very high. So the reason why there's 3 different tiered packages is so that we can use the highest package as a anchor package on price. So the highest package might be a $7,000 3D design, 2D construction plan, permitting, HOA submission, material samples, everything that, as much as that they can pack into that package, they will. And then there's a $4,000 or $5,000 package that comes with the 3D renders, the 2D plans, and estimate. And then the lowest package is just the 2D drawings and an estimate. All right. And so what happens is, because that's $7,000, the homeowner must think, man, that's really good. And you'll actually be surprised. They'll be like, man, if it's that expensive, it must be really good. You'll actually be surprised the amount of $7,000 packages that these contractors are selling. But typically they'll end up selling the $4,000 or $5,000, whatever that middle package is. And how the contractor is presenting these as well is they're telling them, hey, look, whether you go with me or not, if you're really serious about doing this project, this is the only way that you're going to be able to make all your decisions up front, get an accurate estimate, and then avoid change orders during the project. So Mr. Customer, if you're going to do this, which of these packages would fit you and your needs the best? They ask them that question, they go through it, they overcome objections, and then they close the design. Now look, a lot of these contractors know that they're going to lose customers at this point, but they're okay with it because they're not looking for customers who want to spend $500 on a design or get a free estimate. They're looking for people who are serious about their project, and homeowners who are serious about their project are willing to spend money to get a design, to make their decisions, to work with a contractor who's serious and charges for their time. And once they are charging for estimates and selling design packages, this next hack makes it scalable. Hack number 2, they hire an in-house head of design, and then they use your Haven as their back-end workhorse. They know that delegation is the key to scale, and you must hire A players. But even if you hire an A player in-house designer, there's going to be a bottleneck. If the designer is picking all the materials, communicating with the contractors, writing design briefs, coming up with ideas, and drawing the projects, they're not going to be able to work on more than one project. So they came up with a solution and reconfigured the head designer's role. The head designer now is focused on creating design briefs, putting together a material list, communicating with the homeowner, and then passing it over to our team at Your Haven to be the workhorse. Our focus is drawing your vision, is taking the time to model the entire property and the existing home, make sure that everything is marked out properly, design the actual project to your vision using your design brief and your material selections, creating 3D renders, creating a 3D video walkthrough, creating 360 virtual tours, and then creating the 2D construction plans based on your feedback so that you guys can estimate the project accurately and then install the project accurately as well. And we can work on multiple projects at a time so that you can focus on managing multiple clients at a time, selling more designs, and making more money. Let's go. Could they do all of this in-house? Sure, but they'd max out quickly. Using our team, they've been able to scale. They've been able to sell more designs. They've been able to serve more customers and put themselves in a position for more opportunities so that they can go make money and work with the clients they really want to work with. And once the design system is running smoothly, the last piece is the sales process. And this is where these companies are truly separating themselves from everyone else. Hack number 3, they follow the same sales process every single time. They used to wing it. One customer would get a texted number, one would get a PDF, one would get a ballpark email estimate. There was no predictability, no scalability. So that's why they created a repeatable sales process. Every single customer goes through the same exact steps, and their salespeople use the same language every single time that leads to more deals. Here are the 4 steps of the sales process that all of these guys follow. So number 1 is the discovery call. Number 2 is the on-site meeting. Number 3 is the design presentation. And number 4 is the project close. Okay, so the initial discovery call is the most important piece in the sales process. This is really where you get to set the tone for the rest of the project. And so how a lot of these guys set it up is really they're actually interviewing the homeowner more than the homeowner is interviewing them. They're the ones who have the business, and partnering with a bad homeowner or working with a bad homeowner, with somebody who they don't mesh well with or they're not a good fit with, can really tank a business. And so finding the right people to work with is almost just as important as anything else. And so on the discovery call, the goal is to ask them good questions, really understand who they are, kind of create some rapport, create a little bit of a relationship. And then if it feels like a good fit for them, they'll talk about what to expect next as the homeowner. So they'll explain, hey, we're going to come out, we're going to do our strategy site session. It's $500. We're going to get measurements. We're going to talk about ideas. We're going to get pictures, and we'll even share some insights with you so to make it feel valuable for you. And then we'll move into our design process. And then they explain the design process as well on the phone. Hey, we do a design for a very specific reason. It's so that you can make all your decisions. It's so that we can get you an accurate estimate. And then there's less changes or miscommunications during the project. And so they'll explain all of that on the discovery call before they even meet them in person. So they're just setting expectations for what's going to happen. Then they move to the on-site meeting. So we already talked about the on-site meeting. The goal here is to sell them the design packages, to understand really who they are even more in depth and make sure that it's the right fit for both of you guys, and then get them into the design process. But the important thing to talk about here is the expectations they set on site when they sell the design. So they'll tell them exactly what's going to happen and what the next phases are. So they'll say, hey, now that we're moving forward with the design, we're going to get a bunch of pictures. I'm going to have you fill out our design questionnaire. It's going to be super in depth. We're really going to get to know you and make sure that we're building the perfect vision for you guys. When the first draft is done, we're going to set up a design presentation meeting. It's going to be in person. I'm going to come back and I'm going to share everything with you. We can go over all your notes, and I'll take any of those notes that you give me back to our design team where we'll create our next draft. And then what I'll do is from that point, I will create the 3D revised renders. I'll create the 2D construction plans, and I'll create an estimate for you guys. And then I'll come back and I'll meet you again. And if everything looks great, then we will get you on the schedule for demo and collect the deposit. So they'll set all that expectation on the on-site meeting in the beginning. And the reason why this is so that you're not like the customer's not wondering or surprised by you asking them for a check or a deposit. Like they're not surprised by any step in the process. They know what to expect. They feel like they're being heard. They feel like they're following a process, and they feel like they're really being handled by a professional, which is really what they want. The design presentation is always in person. Do not mess this up. Do not email them the renders. Do not text them the renders. Do not do that. That is what novices do. That's what amateurs do. The professionals always meet in person. They text the homeowner, hey, I'm super excited to share the design with you. When do you guys have 20 minutes where we can meet either in person or on a Google Meet? And then they'll schedule a meeting right away that day or the next day within 24 to 48 hours. The goal is to, keep the excitement up, schedule an in-person meeting so they can go through it in depth together. We don't want to be giving them the renders because that's when we start losing them a little bit and we can't keep them on our path. They're going on their own path. And how hard is it to get them back when we lose somebody and they're going somewhere where we don't want them to go? It's very difficult. And so we make them follow our process. So you can bring a computer, bring your iPad, cast it on their TV, whatever you want to do. But the goal is you present the renders, you are leading them down the process. Get their notes, get their feedback, ask them good questions. What do they like? What do they not like? What are they in love with? What would make them feel even more excited about this project? All of that. After that, towards the end of the meeting, you just want to set the expectation again of, hey, really enjoyed this, guys, and I really understand your vision. I have everything written down. I'm going to go back to the design team. We're going to make adjustments to the design, and then we're going to get the 2D plans together and the estimate together. And then in about 5 to 10 days or so, we're going to come back and I'm going to present everything to you. And if everything looks perfect, we'll get you on the schedule for demo and we'll collect a deposit. All right? Boom. So they set the expectation at the end of the design presentation so the homeowner knows, hey, it's going to take 5 to 10 days or however long you tell them a little bit longer than it's actually going to take, and that you're going to come with an estimate. They're expecting you to ask for the close at the closing presentation. Okay, so next up is the job close, is going for the close. They know not every homeowner is going to buy, but because they follow a consistent process, their sales guys close more deals, their customers feel more guided, and their growth is able to compound. And when you combine all three of these hacks together, charging for estimates, structuring your design team properly, and following a sales process, that's how all of these outdoor living companies have been able to scale $5 million and beyond. They stopped wasting their time on free estimates and started charging for premium design services. They hired an A-player in-house head designer and then used Your Haven in the background as the workhorse to scale. They follow the same sales process every single time, the same words, the same steps, and the same confidence. These are not just ideas. These are real systems that outdoor living companies doing over $5 million are using to scale their businesses. Even if you use one of these strategies, I promise you, your business will grow. If you got any value from this, make sure to hit subscribe and share this with any of your landscaping or outdoor living friends. I'm going to be making more videos like this as I continue to learn from these big companies doing $5 million plus so that we can all grow and learn together. Hope you guys have a great week. Go close some deals, go help some customers, and we'll see you in the next video.